God Pillar.
奇妙、灵敏、纯净。
Whoa! But I am willing to, at some point, try installing one in a cheap violin. Hi guys! Welcome to another episode of Ask Olaf the Violin Maker. So today I have something very interesting. I've had a lot of requests to try out the God Pillar, and I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. And I jumped on a few websites. They were really dodgy. They were a real worry. I thought I was going to lose some more money. Anyway, I figured out a way that I could pay on one of these websites, and believe it or not, 1 month later, it did actually arrive. And they didn't take me for all my money, so I was very happy. Guess what arrived in the mail today? You won't believe it. I did figure out a very secure low risk way of doing it, and here it is. It did arrive. They were actually legitimate, believe it or not. But I'm really curious to see if this is going to work. I'm going to break this video up into 3 sections. The first one is, well, me just talking about this and taking it out. Then I'm going to install it, and then we're going to do the before and after try. So I'm going to try the instrument before and after. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to do it with the magic of video. So you can actually listen to them directly side by side, and then let's see, does the God Pillar make a difference? I believe it will make a difference to the sound. Will it improve the sound? I personally don't think so. Other people might. So it's going to be really exciting, and let me know what you think. Does the God Pillar actually improve the sound? Doesn't it? Am I going to have to eat my own words? Because I was very convinced that it's not going to improve the sound. But, is it a matter of taste? Will some people really like it and other people won't? Will it work in a concert hall? Well, I'm not going to try that out today, but I will play from the other end of my studio, which isn't all that far away. It's only about 3 meters away. But, we'll try some different things with the sound. So here goes. Time to install the God Pillar. All right. So we've got the violin and we have the God Pillar. So first thing I have to do is I have to take the strings off the violin. Now I've got to be very careful. The sound post is fairly tight, but I've got to make sure the sound post stays in exactly the same position, because otherwise the experiment won't work. It could change the sound anyway, so I want to make sure that I work with this sound post in exactly the same place. Now I'm going to open the God Pillar. So it comes in this interesting tube. So we have a few different things. Well, this is interesting. We have a little light so I can shine inside the instrument. We have a few objects. Let's see. So this is obviously the actual God Pillar. Is this like the pointy bit? Oh yeah, check this out. There's like a pointy bit that you screw into the top block. That's a scary bit. And then, so I got a bit of sandpaper. I got a tail gut. Why is there a new tail gut? No idea. We got this mounting stand of the end pin. Oh, it's probably a really short tail guard. It has to be way shorter. It's not really shorter. Okay. And then we've got all these tiny adjustment bits. No idea what they're supposed to be there for. Now I've got to get to the instructions. The great thing is the instructions are in Chinese, so I'll probably have to use Google Translate or something. Oh no, there's a QR code. Yeah, if you want to scan this in your own time, you can do it. I hope that goes to YouTube and not some weird channel. Okay, I'm going to test this out. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. I basically just pop this through, stick it into the instrument, and then just screw it in, and then attach the new tailpiece holder, and then I guess I'll have to shorten the tailpiece accordingly to make sure. I might have to use this tail gut's actually not that small, so I might actually use a tail gut for a smaller size instrument, so I can get the location of the tailpiece, and get the tailpiece to a similar location. So I might, I'll just use a short one like this. that'll be even shorter than that one. And yeah, that should get it going. So let's get into it. When you guys told me, I got an old cello spike so we can kind of see what it's supposed to do. So it's supposed to go through the middle of the instrument. I mean, this is solid. Okay, here comes a scary bit. Okay, so I'm putting it into the end pin. My goal is to get that fairly straight in there. Oh, how bad would it be if you actually accidentally screwed it in through the rib and the screw comes out the other side? And a parallel. There we go. That looks fairly straight. And now it's the tricky part. Wow, it's actually in there. Like, it's actually holding. That is bizarre. What a weird contraption. Okay, so next comes... Okay, this is a bit scary. Will it work? A little worried here, but I'll give it a try. Yep, okay, it does need a much shorter tail gut, so I'm going to put a much shorter tail gut on here. This is crazy. There was a violin, actually one of Australia's earliest violin makers. His name was, I think it was John Devereux, and he had a thing called the Devereux bar. That was his invention.
What do you actually think would happen to the sound of the violin if you stuck a rod through it?
I can't see it being good for the instrument. Like, the whole instrument is supposed to move and everything's supposed to move. So if you put something that's rigid inside it, it must stop some of those vibrations. There was an Australian maker, and he actually put a timber bar in exactly the same position through the middle of the instrument. But he did it because of the climate. Those instruments actually ended up sounding better without the bar. Like, we carefully removed the bar and put it aside, and it actually sounded better, so, you know. John Devereux, born 1815, he died in 1883. He was one of Australia's first violin makers, migrating from England in 1854. They don't know the exact date. He was the inventor of the Devereux bar and won multiple prizes from the Victorian Industrial Society, held in the Victorian Industrial Exhibition, which intended to showcase colonial manufacturers' products and work of art. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working on this, shortening down the tail gut, and then I'll put the strings back on, and then is the moment of truth. It's going to be quite interesting. I wonder if there's going to be a huge change, a little change, no change. I don't think that's possible, like, it's a very unusual thing. But if they think it's a patent, well, John Devereux had already invented it in Australia. They just stifled it, the tone made it sound a bit thinner. Anyway, let's see how this goes. Okay. That's about the correct length now, so the time has come to put the strings on. I just hope it can hold the pressure back here, because if it can't, I might hurt myself. I hope the whole thing doesn't collapse. It kind of looks scary. There's a lot of tension down there. Ooh, it's heavy. The whole thing is really heavy. It weighs so much more now. I don't know what that will do to the sound. It's like really creaking, like... Ugh. I'm scared. I thought, like, at any point the strings might just fire off. I bet I've got a really nice old German instrument I'm working on. I'm just going to hide that, put that away. I don't really mind if it breaks my window, but if it breaks a client's instrument, that wouldn't be so good. Well, to me, the instrument's already lost a lot of resonance. Alright, let's go back to the other room and try this out. And should I wear a full face mask? You know, maybe a motorbike helmet? I'm gonna risk it. All right, here we go. I'm going to go to the other room now. It's heavy as anything. Like it really, you know, I can feel a substantial weight here. It's sort of leaning forward. So I hope that's okay. It's scaring me a bit. I'm about to put this thing up against my face and I don't want it exploding there. So this is with the God pillar. Alright, I'm going to try it from the back of the room now. I can sort of hear like an extra resonance in there. I can also, somewhere in the middle, to me it sounds not quite as good. Let's try it from a distance. So this is with the God pillar. This is without the God pillar. So to me it's lost a little bit, especially on the bass side, like on the G. The G sounds just a tad, like it's almost hollow, or like there's something missing, like a deeper ring missing, especially in the lower register. So I don't think, you know, it's worth buying a God pillar. It's not worth, I don't think it's worth installing. The sound difference isn't really huge. To me, it just loses a little bit of that, you know, a little bit of that resonance, a little bit of that brilliance.
There
When
you
the
go.
inventor just need to chill out and stop adding too many things.
I'd love to hear what you think about it. But I'm going to give this a big cross of disapproval. Anyway, here you have it. We've tried the God pillar, and you save your money. Just buy a better instrument. It's absolutely worth it. Anyway, if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the little bell just to make sure you find out every time I post a new video. Remember to keep making beautiful music and have fun playing. Stringed instruments are just so beautiful, so keep making beautiful music. Alright, see you guys. See you next time.